Pastor Bunnell, Pastor Jones, members of the family, Gene, and Judge, distinguished members of the family, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, elected officials who come from all over the state. Took us 245 minutes to get up Route 95 from the rain woman. I can imagine now how far it took the good senator from Ocean City, Norm Conway, and everybody else to get up here as well. Come here to pay tribute to a great man. Gene asked me to say something about his political life. You know him as a farmer, you know him as a country boy, you know him as a serviceman, you know him as a mason, you know him as a lawyer, state's attorney. We know him as a state senator. And in the past 40 years, I would say Walter was one of the four lions of the Senate. I mean, I'll spell it L-I-O-N-S, lions of the Senate, because we had some L-I-R-S in the Senate too, quite a few of them. L-Y-I-N-G-S, you got to forgive me, I'm in the public schools in Prince George's County in terms of my spelling. But he was a true lion, and I know they would all agree with him. Of the four, not in any particular order, I'll start off with Fred Malkus, another Eastern Shoreman, Middle Shore and Lower Shore. He mentored Walter, and Walter idolized Fred because Fred had had the position that Walter had before. And Fred had been deposed because he was very conservative. I mean, Walter was conservative. Fred Malkus was much more to the right of Walter Baker, if you can imagine that in terms of his views. But he, like Walter, was a fighter for the farmers, he was a fighter for the water, and a fighter for Eastern Shore values, and also a protector of the Chesapeake Bay. And Walter admired him very much, and Fred loved the fact that there was a conservative Eastern Shoreman in the Senate who was taking his place as chairman of the Judicial Proceedings Committee. And so Fred had predated Walter and I. Fred had come to the Senate in 1946 after serving in World War II, and served up until 1994. So we've had him for a long time. And the second one I would say is that another lion of the Senate, these are all Walter's close personal friends, was Jack Cade. Senator Cade was the Republican leader of the Senate. But in those days, we didn't have party labels. There wasn't a Democrat, there wasn't a Republican. We were just people, and you worked together. And I never had a meeting with the governor, never had a meeting with the Senate leadership that are assembled here, or with the House. That Senator Cade, the Republican member of the Senate, probably the brightest member of the Senate, wasn't there. Also a fiscal conservative, a little more environmental friendly than Walter was, but I mean, they were together on 90% of the issues. And Walter respected Jack Cade and depended upon him for his friendship and for his votes quite often, especially with fiscal conservatism. And the third one is Walter's seatmate, Clarence Blount, another Army veteran, another farmer, an African-American who got a commission in World War II for bravery, and in a segregated unit. The two of them would sit together and commiserate, and they were great leaders, great leaders. And Walter, of course, he chaired the committee, and we would give the committee chairman great discretion, because Walter had great moral values. This thing he saw happen in South America with his Secret Service people and servicemen, nothing like that would ever cross Walter's mind. He was a great moral leader. And you could always trust Walter to do the right thing in the committee. And he had a drawer that was usually filled with bills that he didn't even think deserved a hearing. You know, we're all, you know, as a democracy, you're supposed to at least have a hearing on bills, even if you can't vote for them. Walter said, no, these bills aren't even worth hearing, we're not even worth talking about it. And of course, they would never see the light of day. And nobody would reproach him, nobody would say, Walter, that's not the right thing to do, because we would let Walter decide what was right for the Senate, because he was a great leader. In terms of the other members, when Walter stood up to speak, the Senate would be quiet, and because they didn't want to hear what he had to say. They respected him very, very much. We're all a little bit better for Walter being in the Senate. Like I say, he was a moral leader, he was honest, conscientious, hardworking, dedicated, and the people on his committee, like Senator Gimeno, adored him. And there was never any trouble in the committee. I mean, what Walter said, that's what happened. When Walter liked the bill, it passed. When Walter didn't like the bill, it didn't pass. You know, simple as that. And we're all a little bit better for it. Senator Mitchell, all these good people served him. Senator Kathy Riley was his neighbor. Senator Larry Levitan was chairman of Budget and Tax. Senator Norm Conway, chairman of Appropriations. Senator Mathias, the new senator. Delegate Rudolph, I mean, former members, I'm not going to name everybody, but I mean, they're there. Former House members that served with him. We adored Walter. And, a famous person once said, when it's time for somebody's homecoming, and they've led a great life, it's not about grief, it's about gratitude. On behalf of the Senate, let's say thanks.